Let's face it, pubic hair. We all have it, or at least we all had it at some point. It's a natural part of being human. Yet, it's a topic that can make even the most confident person squirm. Why is that? Why do we find it so awkward to talk about something that's as normal as, say, having eyebrows? Maybe it's because we've been conditioned to think of body hair, especially down there, as something to be hidden away. We're bombarded with images of smooth, hairless bodies in magazines, movies, and on our social media feeds. It's easy to feel like we're supposed to conform, to achieve that same level of perfection. But here's the thing, there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to pubic hair. It's a matter of personal preference. Some people prefer to be completely bare, while others prefer to let it grow free. And then there's everyone in between, rocking a variety of styles and trims. The point is, it's your body, your choice. This essay is here to explore the hairy, pun intended, topic of pubic hair, from its historical significance to the modern-day pressures we face. We'll delve into the health implications, the societal expectations, and most importantly, the power of personal choice. Believe it or not, the practice of pubic hair removal has been around for centuries. It's not just a modern-day phenomenon. Our ancestors had their own reasons and methods for taming their tresses, often influenced by cultural beliefs, hygiene practices, and even religious customs. In ancient Egypt, for example, both men and women removed body hair as a sign of cleanliness and status. They used tweezers, pumice stones, and even early forms of sugaring to achieve a smooth appearance. Over in ancient Rome, hair removal was associated with youth and beauty, with women using tweezers, creams, and razors made from materials like flint or obsidian. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, and pubic hair removal became less common in Europe, often associated with prostitution. However, other cultures around the world maintained their own traditions. In Japan, for instance, geishas removed their pubic hair as part of their beauty rituals. The point is, attitudes towards pubic hair have ebbed and flowed throughout history, shaped by a complex interplay of cultural, social, and religious factors. It's a fascinating reminder that what we consider normal today is not necessarily universal or timeless. Fast forward to the 20th and 21st centuries, and we see a dramatic shift in attitudes towards pubic hair, particularly in Western cultures. The invention of the safety razor in the early 1900s, followed by the rise of the bikini in the 1940s, led to a surge in the popularity of pubic hair removal, especially among women. Then came the media. Magazines, movies, and advertising all played a role in promoting the image of the smooth, hairless body as the ideal. Think about it. How often do you see a model in a magazine or a celebrity on a red carpet sporting even a hint of stubble? The internet and social media have only intensified this pressure to conform. We're constantly bombarded with images of perfectly groomed bodies, often filtered and edited to enhance that flawless look. It's no wonder that many people, especially young people, feel insecure about their own bodies and pressured to remove their pubic hair, even if it's not something they're personally comfortable with. Now, let's move on to the health implications of pubic hair removal. This is where things can get a little tricky, as there are both pros and cons to consider regardless of which side of the razor you fall on. On the one hand, pubic hair does serve a purpose. It acts as a natural barrier, protecting the delicate skin in the genital area from friction, bacteria, and other irritants. It also helps to regulate temperature and moisture levels. On the other hand, removing pubic hair can have its downsides. Shaving, waxing, and other methods can cause irritation, ingrown hairs, razor burn, and even infections if not done carefully. Plus, there's always the risk of nicks and cuts, which can be especially painful in such a sensitive area. Ultimately, the key is to weigh the risks and benefits and make an informed decision that's right for you and your body. If you do choose to remove your pubic hair, it's essential to do so safely and hygienically. Section 5. The pressure to conform, societal expectations, and body image. Let's be real, there's a lot of pressure, especially on women, to conform to certain beauty standards. And unfortunately, pubic hair removal has become entangled in these expectations. It's often seen as a marker of hygiene, attractiveness, and even sexual desirability. We're bombarded with messages that tell us that smooth is better, that hairless is sexier, and that anything else is somehow unacceptable. This pressure can be especially intense for young people who are already navigating the choppy waters of puberty and body image. The problem is, These societal expectations are often unrealistic and unattainable. They don't reflect the diversity of human bodies or the reality of what's normal. And frankly, they can be incredibly damaging to our self-esteem and body image. Section 6. My body, my choice. Embracing personal preferences. Here's the most important takeaway from all of this. It's your body, and you get to decide what you want to do with it. Whether you prefer to be smooth, natural, or somewhere in between, your choice is valid and should be respected. It's not about conforming to societal pressures or trying to please anyone else. It's about what makes you feel comfortable and confident in your own skin. If you love the feeling of being freshly waxed, go for it. If you'd rather let your hair flow freely, that's amazing too. The point is, there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to pubic hair. It's a personal decision, and it's up to each individual to decide what works best for them. Section 7. The art of grooming, finding what works for you. So, you've decided to take the plunge and experiment with pubic hair removal. Now what? The truth is, there's a whole world of grooming options out there, each with its own pros and cons. It's all about finding what works best for your body, your pain tolerance, and your lifestyle. Let's start with the basics. Shaving. It's the most accessible and affordable option, but it can also be the most high maintenance. You'll need to shave regularly to maintain that smooth feeling, and you might experience some stubble, razor burn, or ingrown hairs along the way. Then there's waxing. It's more painful, yes, but it also lasts longer, with results typically lasting a few weeks. Plus, waxing can lead to finer regrowth over time. Of course, you'll need to find a reputable salon or esthetician to avoid any mishaps. And let's not forget about the other options. Sugaring, threading, laser hair removal, electrolysis, the list goes on. Each method has its own set of advantages and disadvantages, so it's worth doing your research and maybe even consulting with a dermatologist to figure out what's best for you. Section 8. Communication is key. Talking to your partner about preferences. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Communication is key when it comes to pubic hair and relationships. Just like you wouldn't assume your partner's favorite food or music taste, you shouldn't assume their preferences in the grooming department. Talking about pubic hair might feel a little awkward at first, but it's important to have open and honest conversations with your partner about your preferences and expectations. Do you have a preference for how you like your partner to groom? Are there certain styles or levels of hairiness that you find more or less attractive? Remember, it's not about judging or criticizing each other's choices. It's about finding a compromise that works for both of you and ensures that everyone feels comfortable and confident in the bedroom and beyond. Section 9. Breaking the taboo, normalizing open conversations about body hair. Let's be honest, talking about pubic hair can be awkward. It's a topic that's often shrouded in shame, secrecy, and embarrassment. But why is that? Why are we so afraid to talk openly and honestly about something that's so natural and normal? It's time to break the taboo and normalize open conversations about body hair in all its glory. The more we talk about it, the less power it has over us. We can start by sharing our own experiences, asking our friends about their preferences, and even engaging in respectful debates about the societal pressures we face. Imagine a world where we could talk about pubic hair as easily as we talk about our haircuts. A world where we could celebrate the diversity of human bodies and choices without fear of judgment or shame. That's the kind of world I want to live in. Section 10. Beyond the binary, challenging gender norms in hair removal. It's important to acknowledge that the conversation around pubic hair removal often centers on a binary men versus women. But the reality is, gender is a spectrum, and so are our grooming choices. For too long, women have borne the brunt of societal pressure when it comes to hair removal. We're told that we need to be smooth, hairless, and eternally youthful. But men are also subject to expectations, albeit often different ones. It's time to challenge these gender norms and create a more inclusive and accepting space for everyone, regardless of their gender identity or expression. Whether you're a woman who loves to rock a full bush, a man who prefers to be smooth, or someone who identifies outside the gender binary, your choice is valid and should be respected. Section 11, the final word, respect, acceptance, and body positivity. So there you have it, the hairy truth about pubic hair. It's a topic that's complex, personal, and often fraught with societal baggage. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to respect, acceptance, and body positivity. Respect for our own bodies and the choices we make. Acceptance of the fact that there's no one-size-fits-all answer when it comes to grooming. And a healthy dose of body positivity to remind us that we are all beautiful and worthy, regardless of how we choose to manage our body hair. Let's create a world where we can celebrate the diversity of human bodies and choices without fear of judgment or shame. A world where everyone feels empowered to make their own decisions about their bodies, pubic hair and all.